Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us at our first ever Economic Times Soonicorns Summit. Soonicorn is a funny word. It's a new word representing that stage of companies that have the potential to become unicorns and potentially decacorns down the line, but aren't quite there yet. We think this summit is important because in many ways, the Soonicorn opportunity is very much the India opportunity. We are a market with enormous potential and with the ability to create massive, disruptive, lasting companies. But we're not quite there yet. The Soonicorns Summit is meant to address the very things that are holding us back and that are on the horizon for this stage of companies that we face today. This summit is extensive, over 2 days with over 50 speakers. And through this summit, we will cover many themes relevant to this opportunity. We will talk about India's next decade. We will talk about building for Bharat and building for the world. We'll talk about the opportunities and challenges associated with fundraising. We'll talk about building sustainable brands and ones that will last the test of time. And increasingly, we'll also talk about corporate governance and the opportunity and the realities of growing up as a company in India. Our entrepreneurial ecosystem today is the most dynamic and opportune that I've ever seen it. 10 years ago, when I started in this world, Digital India and Startup India was viewed as one of those opportunities down the line, maybe for the young kids of the next generation, but really not relevant in mainstream and the central focus of corporate India, which was going to be run and driven by established incumbent companies with a different operating philosophy and approach towards the world. Today, we see something different. Every company in India is thinking about disruption, is thinking about transformation, has existential risk and threat coming from startups and disruptors who are forcing them to change the game of what they do, challenge existing practices, and figure out how they will evolve into a new world where anybody has the potential to create a unicorn company that can be disruptive and transformative to our society as a whole. This is an enormous period of opportunity. And over the last 5 years, India has established that we have the potential to build really big businesses. The next phase, and perhaps the theme of the next 5 years that we face, will be whether Digital India, Startup India can demonstrate that we can build lasting businesses. And that will come from building businesses that are fundamentally economically sustainable, that are run with best practices, that establish governance and institutionalism in the way that decisions are made, and ultimately proving that these are companies that can last for the next decades ahead. The ET Soonicorns Summit is not just about a summit. It is a broader initiative by the Economic Times. Alongside the summit, there are multiple months of effort and initiatives that are surrounding what we're doing. Last month, we kicked off this initiative, hosting 9 speaker sessions led by the IT minister in one of them. As we host this event, we will hear from over 50 speakers over the next couple of days. And shortly thereafter, we'll produce a video series on the future unicorns and decacorns of India. And over the coming weeks and months, you will see further reports and trackers taking the themes and ideas that come out of these next couple of days and providing consistent and continuous coverage on those themes over days and weeks and months to come. Thank you all for being here. I hope you find this summit to be both insightful and enlightening and supportive of your own personal understandings of the world. And I hope you have a wonderful session, and thank you again.